The time has come to stand your ground and fight. You can soldier with the wrong or take side with the right. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Doormen. We are your guys. I am Evangelist.
Steven in the building.
Yo, remix. Remix. All right, well, brand new episode, and sad to say, our producer is off-site.
Yeah,
currently
working on another production.
We're working on more material. But shout out to
money
him
on the fact that he's lifting weights.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
or lifting dreams in his sleep.
Or dreams. Yes,
or dreaming. Yeah.
Dreaming of lifting counts as working.
Yeah.
Okay. Because dream big, right?
Yeah. Dream big. Dream big.
You gotta do.
Go big or go home.
Go big, go home.
All right.
That's what the Chiefs are doing right now.
Yeah, they're definitely beating up on my Bolts, bro. Beating up on my guy. Well, I mean, you know what? It's a one-score game as from the last I
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's not terrible. I mean, we're definitely not moving the ball.
No, neither of us in the third quarter, actually.
Yeah, nothing.
We had 277 yards in the first half. Third quarter, we got 79.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, the game. There's plenty of ball to be played.
True.
So that's what we'll bank on, hope for. Anyway, anything new?
Hoping when we're done with this, it's 56-21.
Kansas City. I hope not. You know what's funny, man? So fantasy ball, right? I've got Mahomes on 2 of my fantasy squads, but I'm a Bolt, right?
Yeah, well,
so it's
I think
one of those
situations.
situations.
Be voted in first.
Personally, it's one of those situations, man. It's one of those situations where, like, yeah, I want my Bolts to win, but you know, I definitely love all the points that my boy Mahomes.
I personally think, as I've stated before, I feel like you need to be let in the group. You can't just ditch your team of 20 years and pick a team.
Who's gonna stop me?
Well,
yeah,
there's a lot of people out there that would be offended.
Stopping me.
They would be offended.
Hey, if you plan on stopping me,
you better pack a lunch.
Yeah, do your best.
Because it's gonna be a long fucking day.
Do your best, right? I'm gonna run with the Bolts, and that's how it's gonna go.
I try to get you to come to the bandwagon of the Red Kingdom.
I mean, you
jump right there, and you'd be a winner. You'd be a winner.
You guys are doing so well, and I don't have any real ties to Kansas City. The only tie I had, but personal. The only tie I had to
what the
Carolina
fuck am I, business related?
No.
Fucking guy.
No. But it's got to be through me and my own dealings, right? Look, I have no personal tie, right, outside of you, to Kansas City.
Thank you for clarifying that. That's all I was looking for.
Right.
Clarification.
So the tie that I had with the Panthers, I was just this 49er hater, 97 clear sweep, and I was just proud to jump on that as a hater.
You still should be a Niner hater.
I mean,
because any team that looks somebody in the eyes, and fans look somebody in the eyes and says "Bang Bang Niner Gang," you can't.
Hey, but you know what, man? Ever since they picked up Christian McCaffrey, I've just, I've been kind of, the hate has kind of been erased, right? It's kind of been,
not for me,
kind of swept under a rug.
You know what? I haven't said this on our podcast in a long time, but fuck them. All right.
Okay. Fuck them. Well, I mean, so since the last we've recorded,
yeah,
plenty has happened. I mean, in current affairs and current events but I went to a Teddy Swims concert. So for those of you who don't know who Teddy Swims is, great angelic vocal singing that R&B music, happens to be white, but he sings like an angel. I was happy to
He's
see
the
him.
new version of Michael McDonald?
Oh, no. By no means, but in no way does that guy sound anything like Michael McDonald. This guy.
No, I mean, if you were listening to Michael McDonald before you saw Michael McDonald, you'd think there's a black guy singing this song.
Yeah, but it's okay. Maybe it's because it's different styles. This guy's style, he sounded like he was a member of a Baptist choir. My man sounds like he has soul injected in him somehow, some way.
All right.
This guy, the opening act, she was something else, something special too. Her name was Zenadelphia or some shit.
Wow.
Fucking amazing vocals. But the reason I say it is because I often go way too hard at these events with my wife. We just throw caution to the wind in our drinking habits, and this was one of those situations where we left just a tad early because I was a little too fucked up. Yeah. So if you guys were at the Teddy Swims concert and you saw my drunk ass roaming in the lobby of the Wiltern Theater,
did it get to the point?
My apologies.
Did it get to the point of What's Happening Blood?
What's Happening Blood was out in full force,
God.
but a much sloppier, just a sloppy. Yeah, it was horrible.
For those who don't know what What's Up Blood means, it's the equivalent of when you're playing a video game and your rage meter is full and you can click a button and your character just goes, rah, ape shit. That's what What's Happening Blood means.
Yeah, it was dumb. It was dumb. And
equivalent to the 92
I had
riots.
to apologize to my wife all day yesterday because I just felt like an idiot. Felt like stupid. I felt absolutely dumb. But yeah, that's what happens. That's this flaw-filled human existence, and that's one of my.
But you've accepted it. You're right. You've accepted the mistakes that you made that particular night, right?
Sure.
You've addressed them.
I shouldn't.
You've owned them.
I definitely own them, but I shouldn't repeat these mistakes, and I tend to be repeating these mistakes time and time again. So, yeah, I'm working on this.
A little inside tip to all you listeners: when What's Happening Blood comes out, that is everybody in the party.
And listen,
it's the alarm of.
I'm no gang member.
Okay.
Right? Like I said, I've often said, I've spent some time
as you have the red rag.
Right. I'm no gang member, guys. Don't let
I don't represent.
Don't let any of this fool you. This is just a decorative piece. I'm just wearing support. As a matter of fact, I'm supporting my buddy Westby. He's a great supporter of the podcast, Westby and the Good Culture crew. Yeah, shout out, kudos. Yeah, but I'm no gang member. Like I said, I spent some time as a child, running the streets, playing on the streets. And, I had some affiliations way back when. So there's this kind of like default character in me that kind of comes out, when I'm on these alcohol binges.
Yeah, that is the What's Happening Blood.
Yeah.
And again, as I said,
It's
that's everybody in the party when you're with him. When he starts doing that, that's when everybody gently sets their beverages down and proceeds to gather the group to exit.
Right. Well, they gather me anyway to exit. They definitely want to get me out of there.
But it also takes an act of God, Congress, and a biblical, spiritual happening to get you out.
I don't think I'm that bad, but I've heard otherwise. But yeah. Anyway, so that's this like character that comes out. It's like the Hulk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whenever he turns green.
Example. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the Hulk says you don't like me or you wouldn't like it when I get angry, when he says what's up, blood? Same.
Stupid.
Same.
It's idiotic. It's idiotic, man. Anyway, so yeah, I apologize to my wife all day yesterday. We spent the day just hanging out, recovering from a great night, and I vow to not do that again consciously.
Till next time.
Till next weekend.
Yeah. Till the next Teddy Swims concert.
Right. Hey, but Teddy Swims, awesome, man. Zendelphia, just awesome. These guys are absolutely talented individuals. Voice of angels. These two have. If you guys haven't seen a Teddy Swims concert, you've got to get the tickets. You've got to get out there.
I have zero clue of who that is.
It was a guy who started off as a YouTube singer. So all he did was he covered he covered songs, right? Did a lot of cover songs, and then he gained so much popularity
Sure.
via YouTube, and then bam, he's out there doing his thing. Such an awesome man. His vocal styles are just fucking amazing. The dude looks like an R&B kind of a heavier set Post Malone. Yeah.
Post Malone before Post Malone got in shape.
No. I don't think Post Malone was ever this.
Oh, he's large.
My man's large.
Oh,
My man's large and in charge.
all right. Well,
But great vocals, awesome vocals, man. Kudos to you, Teddy Swims. Awesome time.
the new Ruben Studdard.
Yeah. He could definitely be that very Ruben Studdard-esque, right? In his vocal delivery.
Interesting.
Fucking awesome. Yeah. So great time this weekend. Got a chance to visit with some cousins earlier this week, a few days ago. Yeah, just been a great time since our last recording. So, what about you? Any great reportings?
Last full week at my job was last week,
Hey,
and I'm practicing expert level patience, not knocking somebody the fuck out.
knowing you're gonna leave.
Yes,
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey,
it is a test of patience,
we definitely want you to.
and
We definitely want you to win that battle.
yeah, and it's also too. I just think of they're pushing my buttons on purpose,
Because you're leaving.
so I'm trying to be, even though I am
So
physically the bigger man.
you've got about 3-4 more days.
Tomorrow, Tuesday. Tuesday's my last day.
Oh shit. Kudos.
Tuesday the 24th.
Kudos.
Thank you, sir.
Kudos. Anyway.
And yesterday I bought a video gaming system that plays regular Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games, and Sega games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited.
You're excited. I'm excited for you.
And a little other Nintendo bundle that has 800 games on it of the original Nintendo games.
Okay.
Bro, every game that they ever made for Nintendo.
The level of excitement right now in his voice is, yeah, it's childlike.
I'm telling you,
it's
there
almost-
are games on there I didn't even know existed. There's an American Gladiators game.
Hey, what gaming system? What's the name of this gaming system?
It's a little. It looks like a Nintendo,
Right.
but it's all SIM card with 800 games on it.
Shit.
Bro,
You are in heaven.
I'm telling you right now. I plugged it in last night, and Asen was like, "Can I try?" And I was like, "Back off!" Wait.
But eventually, I hope you plan on introducing
Oh, that's why I
Asen
got
to
it,
these
'cause
classics.
They don't understand the level of original games.
Right.
Like I opened up the American Gladiators game just to show him, and you could tell in his eyes, he's like, "This is fucking bullshit, old ass graphics, 16-bit." You know,
Yeah.
back then that was something. This he plays my PlayStation 4, but I just got to find a Super Mario Brothers game, and they'll be all over it.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
good luck.
Yes,
I think you're doing great by them children.
it's easy to say, I got this for the kids,
But in reality,
but
we
in
know.
reality, it's for me.
We know.
Yeah.
We know what it truly is.
I'm like, oh, look at this cool transformer.
I've said time and again, you're a big kid.
Yes,
You're a large child.
large child.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Well, I mean, you know what? Just to get rolling with this episode, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen our clips, and we've been super proud of our producer for introducing us to this world of
Yeah.
reels and clips
Reels,
and
we're on
shorts
Rumble.
right. So I mean,
The shit we should have been doing 3 years ago.
yeah. I mean, but we had zero clue. We still have zero.
Yeah, we
clue
still have no clue.
of anything. We're just guys who just like talking. We started off talking in front of a door,
Right.
and the suggestion was given that we should take this show on the road.
Yeah.
And we are here doing exactly that. taking the show on the road.
Just think if we did it when we initially were suggested.
Yeah.
We would have been.
I don't know where we would have
I think we would have been entry level podcast legends.
Entry level millionaires.
Yeah. We're behind the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Because to take this out back in what year was it? Somebody told us to do it. 2015?
15? It was 15?
Yeah.
15, even 16, maybe.
I mean, we could have been just legends in the podcast
Legends
business.
in the podcast game. Yeah.
Instead, we let people like Joe Rogan take the reins.
Hey, shout out to that guy, though. That guy's amazing, man. Come on. The level of influence that guy has, the amount of expertise he's able to tap into with, because he's got such popularity, right?
You know what I noticed, though?
You know what I noticed? People kiss his ass.
Yeah.
Just all over the place.
But you also know what I noticed? I was watching the Reels on Instagram, and what they're doing now is they're, taking clips of different episodes of his.
Right.
And melting them all into one audio clip, so it makes it seem like he's talking about something else.
Yeah.
It makes it seem like he's advertising for dick pills.
For certain things. Right.
For hair growth. Like what the fuck? You're gonna like Joe Rogan's gonna talk about hair growth.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. No. I've seen a lot of that. But you know what? We in this AI era,
crazy,
this AI era coming up, we better be ready. We better be prepared for exactly more of that. Right? A lot more of that shit. But yeah, I mean, you've seen us with these little clips and everything, and I've been thinking, why don't we condense our shows to just giving you just a concentrated version of all of this wisdom, this impeccable wisdom that we have, right?
We could try.
We could try.
But the history of our shows
lets
us all believe that we couldn't stay on track if we had to.
Right. But I'm going to try.
All right.
I'm going to try. So the subject matter we were looking to dive into today, right? I'm pretty sure we could have given you tons of war coverage and all that we know about what's going on in the Middle East. And
Joe Biden on the beach, relaxing. As a war bruise in the Middle East, but that's fine.
Who knows?
Go take a break, Joe. You've been working hard.
Yeah, you've been working so hard.
You son of a bitch.
So awesome. But you know what? We decided to take a break. And we decided to cast some attention, right, to another player that we've mentioned here on the podcast.
An individual that probably doesn't deserve any conversation.
Right.
But it is a hot button.
It's a hot button. But she highlights a lot of key things, key subjects that can be touched on.
Well, key elements to life, I think.
About the current state of being in this, 2023.
Right.
So Jada Pinkett Smith, she released a book, some tell-all book. It's called Worthy. I believe it's called Worthy.
Pretty ballsy title.
Right.
For G.I. Jane 2.
Right. But it's called Worthy. We've not read it.
No.
But there have been talks around some of the things that it touches on.
Yeah.
So what we've heard is the mention that Tupac was her soulmate. She goes into detail about terrible things that occurred during her marriage to Will Smith.
Right.
Absolutely casting a terrible light on him, on his character, on her character. But so it's title Worthy. It really highlights the idea of her unworthy behaviors. Right.
Well, I mean, there's that one meme going around that, the one bullet that Tupac luckily dodged was Jada Pinkett. And you have to question the sincerity and the motive behind this book and all this stuff that's coming out now. Because how long ago did Chris Rock get sucker slapped?
A year ago. And
I saw a clip of her talking about it you know, that she was friends with Chris Rock. She didn't think the joke was that bad. She has no idea why Will Smith jumped up and smacked him.
Wow.
And if you watch the video clip,
threw that guy under the bus.
Because she's irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
In Hollywood.
Right.
She's Will Smith's wife.
Right.
That's what she is.
Right.
She hasn't made a movie since A Low Down Dirty Shame. Maybe Set It Off. Nothing that's big, right?
Sure.
So she sits there, and when you watch that clip from the front angle, and the clips that zoom in on her face when he made that joke, she looked at Will Smith looked at him like, this is why I fuck other dudes.
Right.
Because you don't have my back.
Right.
So in that instance, any man on earth that's going through that type of situation that has a cheating spouse, anybody, not just man, anybody,
Right.
and you're trying to work it out, and you think that one act of valor will right the ship, and then you do it, and then you're the asshole for doing it. Like it's she's just a no good human being. I feel like she's just a terrible human being.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many different ways you could layer that cake, right?
Yeah.
So I always point back to the original programming, my original programming being the Bible, right? So people often question, what relevancy does a book written so long ago have in today's world, right? Well, what it highlights is a protocol, right? An efficient way of moving, acting, behaving that would bring peace, right? To any individual, any group, like the family.
Right.
But it highlights the idea that you have the man, you have his wife, and then you have the children. And each of those individuals play a specific role in that group. But it highlights the idea that the group is center to it all. So you, in your role,
The nuclear family.
right, you in your role kind of fall back. So your individual urges, impulses,
Right.
desires, it kind of falls back in this priority list.
Right.
And this family is at the top.
Well, yeah, you can no
So-
longer be selfish in your activities.
So as a wife and a mother, Jada had this role, right? And then in that role, the more she dedicated herself to the role itself as opposed to her own desires, then she would have provided some type of a peace unto herself and to her husband and children.
Right.
So that's what these protocols. That's what these protocols in the Bible. That's the goal.
Right.
But what you have here is a very egocentric, self-centered behavior, right? Maybe practiced by Will Smith as well, but definitely practiced by Jada.
Right. Maybe Scientology has more of an effect on the nuclear family in that situation than we know.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. But what we ultimately know is that there was a failure in this group, and we are seeing on the part of the wife, the mother, the failures brought out into the open, right?
Right.
And we are seeing the claims of the failures of the husband, father, being brought out into the open,
Right.
broadcasted to all to see.
Right.
And then, so it's this idea that all these failures have taken place. The family definitely was not at the center, and it highlights that when we veer from the protocol designed in the Bible, then these are the potential outcomes
Sure.
that are to be had.
But also too, when she addresses her cheating on her husband as an event,
right.
right? You're already sidestepping responsibility by not calling it a spade, right? You're not calling the situation what happened. You're mislabeling it as an event. You didn't go to a party, you dopey bitch. You slept with somebody else while you were married. And then to tell him on that stupid talk show that she has, to let him know who it was, when it was, and put him in a situation where if he were to react in an aggressive way, as I would if somebody put me on a TV show and told me some shit like that. And then he sits there and then he gets teary-eyed and he cries because his wife just told him on a syndicated episode of Red Table Talk.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's low down because you know that he can't react how he would behind closed doors.
Right.
And then
you got to know that the internet is forever.
Right. And then he becomes a meme. Right? That teary-eyed Will Smith becomes a meme. Like when, no offense, Cowboys fans lose the playoffs. Will Smith's face is the meme. Michael Jordan's face is the meme when he's crying. But it's shit like that. And then you put him in a spot where he cannot be real.
Right.
And react how he wants to. That's a selfish move.
Yeah.
And then to say it like it's no big deal. Oh, we were not really communicating well at that point. Oh, okay. So I didn't answer my phone once and you go fuck somebody else. Cool.
Right.
Great.
Right. Yeah. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
I mean, again.
Oh, my fault. You're right.
I mean, all of this just highlights how individuals in that group, the family, that specific family,
right,
had very egocentric, self-centered, self-serving behaviors.
Right. And we don't know. I mean, maybe being a celebrity is, I don't know what it is about celebrities though. Like I was talking with Michelle the other day, like, right. Like she asked, how can somebody like cheat on Jennifer Aniston, let's say? How can somebody cheat on whoever they're with? And I'm like, it has to be something in a celebrity mind that there's always something better.
There's always options. Anytime. So, one thing that we've come to understand about human behavior is that if you're always comparing and contrasting your day, your outcomes to someone else's, then there's always going to be that curiosity.
Right.
There's going to be that curiosity. There's going to be that spirit of
unhealthy level of
experimentation. Right. You're like, okay, yeah. So it's this. You have options. You have so many other choices to make, or the other options to delve into as a popular individual, as a popular figure,
or you don't. Think about the issues that you have on a day-to-day basis, month-to-month basis.
Sure.
Bills, work.
Sure.
Family situations. When you become a celebrity, right? The money issues are no longer, right? The work issues.
How do we know?
Because they get paid $1 gazillion.
They get paid $1 gazillion, but the more money you have, the more problems.
I understand that, but my thing is you and me, if we had $10 million right now in the bank, 50% of our issues go away.
Yeah, but then maybe another 50%.
Sure, but I'm saying that's one less thing to worry about. Like you're not going to worry about, oh shit, how am I going to pay the rent?
Right.
How am I going to pay this? You know what I'm saying? Like as a celebrity, that worry is no longer. It's gone.
So okay, I'm not saying I was ever rich, but there were times where money was very little. I had very little worry about money, but being that I was constantly surrounding myself with people, you run into other situations where you feel obligated to give to people less fortunate and things less less fortunate than you. And then so it's these when you don't worry about money, there's definitely other things that appear. It becomes relevant. It becomes it stares at you in the face because you have this money and you're like, okay. And again, it's all a compare and contrast type of thing that happens, right? Because other people that you love or that you value are there with less, and then it's like, okay, the obligation to bless this person, or the obligation to lend a hand, or the obligation to lift the person up to some level closer to yours, it's always there, right?
Right.
So it may not be, it may not be your issues that are prevalent, but if you're not some selfish prick, then there's going to be other issues that arise. Right. Other people's problems become yours.
Right. The only reason I said what I said was because if you're Jada Pinkett Smith and your kids are 3 and 5 and they go to a daycare or they have a nanny and you're not doing any movies, Will Smith's doing all these movies, he's not home, money's not an issue, now you can focus on little things that you have blown up in your mind as an issue as to why it was okay for you to do what you do.
Sure.
Right? So
she should have filled her time.
Right. Go get a job. Like fucking A.
I mean, she was an actress.
But she hasn't done anything in years. Years.
She hasn't done anything popular.
You're going to tell me that the majority of their money was not made by Will Smith?
Well, it was absolutely
like,
made
what the fuck
by
does she bring
Will
to the
Smith.
table?
But I'm pretty sure, as an actress, right? I'm pretty sure there were things that she was trying to work on because, again, it's a compare and contrast situation. Your husband is this popular, at one point the highest paid actor in Hollywood, right? So he's facing all this success, and then obviously, if there is some type of selfishness within you, if there is a part of you that wants the attention, of course you're going through some situation where you want to be lifted up in that way.
Right.
You want to be held, in the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that, again, because those roles aren't the protocoled roles aren't being met. Right. And weren't met. And I think in the Hollywood culture, I think what you have is this potential for these couples, if that foundation isn't solidified, where these roles are first and foremost, then of course you're going to have these moments of weakness turn into these snowballed hell, shitty situations.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you sit there and ask yourself, how can somebody not want to be with Jennifer Aniston, right? Mm-hmm. And you're only going on what you've seen on TV shows or movies, and obviously her look, right? And then when you take a step back from just looking at somebody as, God, she's hot, right?
Right.
You take a step back and be like, maybe she's a bitch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe she just can't handle being with somebody. Maybe that Hollywood life is just, it's just so easy for them to be like, whatever. I'll get somebody.
I'm pretty
else.
sure that Hollywood culture can definitely be like it's evil.
Right?
There's this
it has to be
absolute evil in it, right? Because, a lot of it focuses and kind of concentrates in that hedonism, right? Yeah. Where it's all about pleasure. It's all about instant gratification,
right?
Gratifying your flesh, gratifying the urges, right? I'm pretty sure drugs are have a huge part to play. I'm
Steroids.
Sure sex is absolutely dang, leave my...
I'm just saying.
I used to defend my Uncle Rock, man, but I'm finding it harder.
Why?
Harder.
Why are you finding it harder?
Well, because he's turning out to be this idiot.
What the fuck? What have I been saying, bro, since he left wrestling?
Yeah, but still, it's just been like tiresome.
Like, I was showing Shelby a video of when The Rock came back in 2007 or something, when we were in Anaheim, me and Scuba.
Okay.
And he came back as the mystery guest host or whatever the fuck he was doing. And I said, then is when I started to not like him. Because that was Hollywood. Right? That was the movie guy.
Right.
But when he was a wrestler, I had no real problem with him. Like, I didn't care that he was on every fucking Monday night. I didn't care that he was whatever. Because that was the character that he's playing. But now it's just like he's fucking forced everywhere you look.
Sure.
Everywhere you look, he's there.
Well, I mean,
and it should like he has no business. Like
he's such a. You've got to give him credit for being the hustler, right?
Sure.
But the result of his hustling, the result of his activities or his efforts,
right?
Should we say, his efforts to stay relevant? Because
right.
that's what it is. It's him looking to be as relevant as he can.
Because time runs out, right?
Time
runs out. There's very few actors.
15 minutes of fame.
Very few actors that are going to be
that relevant
forever.
20 years.
Like you have, like Robin Williams, I think was probably would have been relevant until he was 90 if he lived.
Sure.
Because he was drama, comedy, all of it rolled into one, right? Tom Hanks is another one.
Yeah. Ever since the days of SNL, right? Tom Hanks.
Yes. But I mean, that's two out of the entire list of Hollywood. I mean, there's more. Yeah, but even him, like he's.
You think
like,
his relevance is dying?
He's getting to the end where it's just like, okay, you can't be the badass mafia guy.
No, but he's got a good little movie coming out with Leo.
Yeah, I heard some reviews, not so good.
Not so good, huh? Wow.
But it's the Scorsese thing, right? It's another Scorsese movie that DiCaprio and De Niro will always have jobs in those films.
Yeah.
Forever and a day.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I've seen the trailers.
Yeah, I've seen some trailers. I mean, it looks good, but the reviews said it was just kind of like it was like forced acting.
Garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm still a fan, but I get your point. There's you have a window, right?
Right.
And he's trying to extract.
And he is maximizing that time.
Oh my God, he is, right? I mean, you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit for wanting to do that and accomplishing it in that way. But
right. But I also think
it kind of goes back to like our subject. Jada Pinkett too,
right,
is trying to maximize on
her
that
window closed.
The window's closed, but she is doing the circus monkey dance in order to kind of like pry that window back open for her. Right?
Because I mean, they were in the news every day after Will Smith, a bigger guy, punked a smaller dude. Right. They were forever
for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason other than his manhood was checked. Right. And probably like what he did to Chris Rock was what he wanted to do to his wife when she told him that she killed him. Would be my guess. Yeah. Right. But since that was on a closed set,
leave that dude's dick out of your motherfucking mouth.
Right. But it's like when you don't think of you can't defend it because he was like it was on a closed set with her and her mother there and maybe a camera guy.
Right.
And you decide to act on national television during the Oscars. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? It's 100% the other way around.
Sure.
Beat her ass on the red table talk.
Yeah.
Don't jump Chris Rock for no fucking reason.
Sure. Yeah,
that's like me going up. That's like me going up and punching Vern Troyer. Like, no, I'll talk about my wife. And just mule kicking him across the stage. A little stingy midget.
Little people.
Hey.
Plus, you'd never approach that guy. You're scared of him.
No, that's true. I'd run. From the other side of the room, I'd be like, hey.
You'd be quaking.
You shut your mouth.
You'd be quaking walking up to that guy.
Somebody tell him to keep his mouth shut.
Adam, go get him.
Adam. Go punch that little kid right in the neck.
Hey, Adam and Addie, go get him.
Unbelievable. Well, you got to wonder, like, what does she really think of herself, right?
Yeah.
Like, no cameras, no bullshit, no script, no Hollywood lights.
Well, obviously.
What does she think about when she's laying
Obviously, the
down?
title of her book, this Worthy, I don't know if it's a claim of hers that she's worthy. I don't know if it's her trying to draw to herself some sense of worth. But it's ironic to me that the title Worthy would be the title of her book, because everything that's happening, everything that has happened, it just highlights the unworthy
nature right
within her.
the generality of
that is
her
just being
unworthiness.
It's oozing from her.
Yeah,
This
she's just a bad human being.
Yeah, I mean, you've got her kids tripping on her lifestyle or her life decisions. Her ex-husband now, I guess that their ex-husband. I don't know. I don't know if they're still married, but
Who?
Will Smith.
Oh,
I don't know if
dude.
I don't know if they're yeah. I don't
They're
know.
probably never gonna get divorced. They'll just be Scientology separated.
Sure. But who knows? I have no idea, but it just seems ironic. But I wanted to utilize this, that subject in order to highlight the relevancy of the Bible, right? Everyone trashes. Yeah, I mean, everyone trashes the Bible for being, it's such an outdated book and so many, concepts that we don't even practice today. And the idea is that this book has so many wise efficiencies. It has suggestions for just efficient behavior in order that things like mental health be as diminished as possible. Things like just behaviors that would lessen the faults of our human experience.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's so many faults to be had and made in this human experiment.
Well, people that say the Bible is outdated and things that it doesn't apply to today are the same dipshits that go out and get Chicken Soup for the Soul Volume 4.
Sure. You're replacing one book of wisdom for a potential another.
And it's all everything. I mean, all the positivity and the the abilities to be happy in Chicken Soup for the Soul, it's all pulled from essentially what the Bible's core is.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, you're fooling yourself, right?
Sure.
Or they get books like, How to Zip a Backpack for Dummies. Stupid ass people.
Yeah.
How to turn a light switch on for dummies.
Right. I mean, there's so many replacements. I mean, I would say because of all of the connotations, all of the attachments to Christianity and the Bible over the centuries, right? Because of the things that it's come with, because of the wrong ways that it has been used,
right?
Over the centuries, there's just been this kind of attempt to discredit it. But if you truly understand what's being taught, what's being revealed, the wisdoms that have been just proven, right? It's proven wisdom of the Bible that the mode of being would be so much more efficient in our culture, in our societies, right? But because we dive into this world of pleasure seeking and hedonism, and we want to satisfy these impulses and urges, we find ourselves tripping up, falling into this mental health situation, anxieties, promoting pharmaceutical assistance. Yeah, it's a wild thing. It's a wild concept.
It's crazy to me too. Like when you think about all the issues and all the what's the word I'm trying to find? All the diagnosis of people nowadays. There's a fucking reason or an excuse for every single thing going on today.
Sure.
That 30 years ago, there's no excuse for it. You know what I mean? 100 years ago, like, you want to do what? You're saying you identify as a what? What does that even mean?
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of my office.
Get out of here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, it's wild, man. But
now it's just like you can say anything, and tie it to mental health.
Sure.
And you are immediately given a pass.
Yeah.
And
it's wild.
That's the sad thing. It's like we said this before. Like when you delegitimize the reality of actual people who have mental health issues, and you delegitimize it by saying, oh, I stole that TV because my mental health, just to get out of it.
Right.
Like you are telling everybody who has legitimate mental health issues to fuck off because, again, it's an excuse.
Well, I mean, you know what? I want to close with this. Jada Pinkett, obviously,
Psychopath,
has mental health issues, right? And I think that's what we wanted to highlight here on the Doormen Podcast.
Don't get her book.
Don't get her book.
Subscribe to
Just
the
know
Doormen.
it's too late for her.
Subscribe to the Doormen, and your life will be better.
Your life is going to be fantastic. And with that,
that's the bottom line.
that's it. And we out.
We out.